Oy'Nissh, millennial Jamaican name, food, and language. Hi everyone. Let me see. It's working. Yes, hi everyone. My name is Oy'Nissh Grandies, and today I am in the Winton Woodland and I'm vlogging in one of the areas just off the main path to McMurray. So going that way goes to the castle.
Mary's that way.
Yeah. So McMurray is this way, and going that way is the Winton Castle Estate. And today's vlog will take you on a journey along with myself along that path. As you know, on YouTube I've been creating new type of art, and one of the art is vellsane, from the word vellsane, which means an arch that's formed by 3 branches over a path in a public park or private park, but also woodland. Now in this case, here's a woodland. The entire region is a woodland, but I'll be traveling up that path, and I've got a special guest. It's just someone that I've met along the journey. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, it's very interesting to listen to all this and to watch the little gadget that flies around and takes a photograph.
Yes.
I wish this fellow all the best in his venture.
Yes. So my name is Oy'Nissh.
And I'm Jim Thompson.
Jim Thompson. You're a Scotsman?
Yeah, I am. I'm born and bred in Edinburgh.
Born and bred in Edinburgh. I'm from Edinburgh, but I got the bus down. So yes, as I was explaining to you earlier on, so there's this word called vellsane, which is defined as an arch made from trees on opposite side over a path in a park, be it public or private, but also a woodland. Now, I've done some in Edinburgh. I went to the Inverleith, you know, the Inverleith Park, near the Royal Botanic Garden. Also did the Royal Victoria Park, which is off Ferry Road. And I did Craigmillar Castle, because that's where the word originated from, because I live in the Craigmillar area. So one winter, I was walking down the Horse Chestnut Avenue, and lo and behold, I could see this nice arch shape.
Very good.
And I had to find a word to define it. That's where the word vellsane come from, but it's in Oy'Nissh language. It's a constructed language that I'm developing, but I translated in English called vellsane or vellsane arch. Now, there are different type of arches, because I've discovered coming in this region, sometimes the arch is well formed and in other parts it's properly formed, and you have different type of arrangement of the arches. So when you've got a vellsane in a region where you have the difference, where it's sparsely populated and densely populated, there's a word to describe that region. It's called a tritrilliom. So tritrilliom is a collection of vellsane arch, some sparsely situated and some more densely situated. So this is where the word tritrilliom comes from, because this is where I first discovered the idea that actually, because it's a woodland, it's a lot more haphazard. No, I noticed you cycle, yes? That's your cycle. So how far does the trip take you? From here to Edinburgh?
Oh yeah.
You cycle from here to Edinburgh? Wow, you see? Talking about keeping fit for 2023.
And so, for an old man as well.
Exactly.
77.
Oh, look at that, 77. So you see, well, I love to walk.
It's electric though.
It's electric. May I have a look at? So this is, okay. Wow. Yes, people. Yes, so it's 2 folks from Edinburgh here in the woodland, the Winton Woodland, And as I said, I've took my drone today to give them a shot of the area called the Triltriliom. So as I said, it's a collection of the different arches, but it's difficult to name them all and said there's one arch, there's a second one. It's just grouped into one Triltriliom. So hopefully you, when you go on YouTube, you can check up my name, Oy'Nissh, OY'_NISSH, and that's where you'll find the vlog. So hopefully I should upload it tonight or tomorrow. Yes. Well, it's nice to meet you, sir.
And you, sir.
All right.
Most interesting.
No.
Now I've got to get on the road.
Yes, sir. And gosh, it's really getting overcast. Look.
It's going to rain.
Oh my! I wasn't expecting this. I need to make haste too.
It's going to rain, I can tell.
It is. I just sense it's going to be, and I don't want to get all wet. Well, I guess it's British to get wet.
You're waterproof.
Yes, I've got this nice jacket on. It's good. Okay, sir. So I'm going to head up this region. So as I've been talking earlier on, so this is the part to the Tritrilliom, yes, and it's a collection of vellsanes.
Hill up there.
Yes. So the Winton Hill, and it takes you further back to what's the name of the area again? So you pass Winton Hill and it takes you back to, oh, what's the name of the place? Pencaitland, yes. You can take a right and it takes you back to Pencaitland, yes. So we're going into this area where we got the various arches. As I said, when I came here first, I realized the first part of the walk, the arches are sparsely populated and not so well defined because you have a lot of twists and turns along the path. But nearing the end, you'll get to see more defined arches. I'm not going through the entire region because you'll see in the drone footage that I'll be posting, hopefully at the beginning of the video, it's a vast region and I cannot cover all of it, but I try to go at least 1/3 the journey and turn back so get an idea of what it's like to be in a woodland where we've got the various arches of different shape. However, I imagine that many of you from different countries would have the same setup in your woodland. Even in other parts of Scotland, your woodland probably will be bigger than this or smaller, but it's haphazardly arranged in terms of the arches, that is. So you probably have your own tritrilliom, but this is how Oy'Nissh words start developing. So as I said, it's early stage in the development of the language, and it's a conlang, so it's not an official Jamaican language. It's from it evolved from the Oy'Nissh food brand, and just so happened that there's a writing system for it called vellsane, and I'm now developing this concept. So maybe that's why I'm keen to see, it's easy to see stuff and give them new names, because I'm keen to create words that's not in Jamaican patois or in the English language. It's its own unique name. Obviously, you can term an arch over a part if it's well defined, like a canopy and so forth. But because it have to do with the branches, I want to give it its own unique name instead of another arch. It must have a specific term or name, and thus vellsane or vellsane arch. So I'll be taking you up just now, and I've got my drone. There's all organized. Hopefully I can get a shot in the very middle of this part of the woodland, so I'll see how that goes. So journey along with me, and let me pack my bag first. Journey along with me and enjoy this new venture. Okay, so I'm heading off to the path just now. So if possible, I try and get some drone shots nearing the top or the belly of the arch. But it have to be one of those that are well defined, so you can have a better look at it. You know what? One of my wishes to see what's the name of this park again in New York? Central Park. Oh my gosh! I would imagine their vellsanes would be very huge. I don't know. I've never been to New York City, so if you're in New York City and you're watching this vlog, send me a picture of what your vellsane look like in Central Park, our collection of vellsanes, and also in London, other parts of Scotland, maybe Glasgow. Yes. So as you can see, it's sparsely populated at the moment. Not much to see. On the left hand side, Arleny tree. On the right hand side, the branches aren't all that long, so it's hard to say there's much definition at this stage, but it does get better, especially when we go on the right hand side coming down. Yes, so for my job, I walk a lot because I'm a chef and I do catering using forage products to make Oy'Nissh brand food, mainly vegan and vegetarian, sometimes fish and chicken, etc. So I like walking about. Thus, when I'm walking about, I like listening to music. This is one of my favorite areas to come and forage. But because it's winter, the fresh produce aren't in season yet. The spring ones are coming. I've done some vlog regarding seasonal products that I'm expecting to start, like wild garlic, leek, and wild leek and ground elder. And this is one of the area I get some of those products. So I love to walk, and while walking I listen to some nice gospel music or some reggae and so forth. And it was on one such occasion I first sort of noticed this type of formation. I've probably passed that first vellsane arch at the Craigmillar Castle Park so many times and not noticed. Is it possible sometimes we are passing through nature, beautiful parts of nature, and maybe because we have so much on our minds we cannot appreciate at least the better part of it? So that was my experience with how vellsane or vellsane arch came into be. And now I started recording this pattern when I go walking about looking for, at least this time, looking for pre-spring signs of growth in terms of forage vegetables. Fruits won't come just now. I'm thinking that's more summer, but then we'll do the ones for fruits starting April. I would say April, pardon me, because then the trees start flowering, and cherries, the cherry blossom, after the cherry blossom comes the wee cherries, so we start to look at some of that. But for now, it's about the vegetables. Wild garlic are ramsons. See, now notice the road is winding, so it's difficult to see an arch. It's there, but because the road is winding, it sort of distort how the arch will look, but the formation is there. And later, yes, it starts to take shape just a little at the moment. The best arch, the best vellsanes are those that align a straight path. Even in woodlands, when they are in straight path, you get this tunnel view, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm hoping to take you to one area where you'll get that. So it's sparsely populated at the moment on this side and on this side, so not much arch. This would be like a gap in the tritrilliom. please bear with me because it's the early stage of the language and new words are coming to play. Eventually, I start to conjugate because I'm working through the grammatical structure at the moment. And once I get through some of the fundamental principles for this constructed language, then I start to conjugate. Not only using just the alphabet system, because the alphabet system in this language is called Guayfirmere, but the official representation of the language is the VLX, the character. It's a lot more difficult to conjugate characters than it is using letters. And in this language, the letter system is only an interface. The official representation is the character, and it's challenging, but inspiration comes as I go about my business, as I go about working. I walk for work. I'm a forager by heart. I love foraging, and that's the beauty. Anywhere I notice stuff, I pick things up quite quickly. And this tritrilliom, and when I say tritrilliom, remember, it's the entire region and the collection of various vellsanes in a woodland, that is. So you only associate tritrilliom with a woodland because it's less likely it's that organized as a public or private park. So the term tritrilliom. So there's a wee arch just up there. You can see the tree, the branches start to touch, and I get this under path, and we'll reach to the better part soon. Yes. So I believe inspiration comes to people through time of challenges. 2021, when we went into the second lockdown in the UK and my catering business suffered for a second time, not knowing what to do, God said, instead of worrying and stressing about it, use what you've got. So all those words for the food that I was developing, the concept and the classifications, God said, no, try and turn it into a proper language that's useful. Maybe not to Jamaica, because obviously Jamaica has its own system, but for your business and for your own development. So spend the time developing the Oy'Nissh concept. And oh, there's an example of, it seems like along this path you've got the larger branches that form thicker arches, and then you've got the very thin ones, as you can see between the large trees, little the smaller ones, and they form thin arch layers, very thin. Can hardly see it from here, but I'm not going up that path. I want to take you up this side. Yes, so during the lockdown, I just started working on the concept of the language, because I know once I'm out about starting to work on foraging and all that, once the lockdown eased up, I won't have time. So the VLX was created in March 2021, and ever since, the language come into play now. As I said, it's not fully exercised because I'm working on it myself, but I have to lay the foundation. So the word structuring, and when I said word, in character form, it's not only in character form, because I started out using alphabet. No, all those that are written in alphabet have to now convert into character. It's difficult because coming from Jamaica, I'm not used to writing characters, but when you have to design your own characters, not resembling Chinese or Japanese and so the Asian characters, you know, it can be tricky, but I love it. It's a challenge. Here we start to see a bit more formation. It's not well defined at this stage, but it will be. You'll see examples of it. So here's a gap, nothing. And I want to find a nice spot in the woodland to launch the drone so you can get a middle view of the woodland instead of when I was along the main path to McMurray. Yes, so okay, so here's a good example of small trees forming a tunnel, giving a tunnel effect of the vellsane arch. And as I said, maybe I'll just start using the term vellsane because I don't think it has been used to describe this type of formation, but it's everywhere in the world where you've got trees, you know. So it's just that I define it in the Oy'Nissh language. So here we've got a good example of vellsane as opposed to earlier on when it was sparsely populated. So let me see if I can get a picture. So now I have to head back to the main path to McMurray because I've got other things to do, but I could have continued along that path all the way to, is that New Hill or something? Yeah, but I'm hoping to do some pre-foraging vlogs today in Musselburgh. Pardon me. Hopefully the rain holds up, so I have to quickly get back to Musselburgh now, so I have to end the video. So oh yes, I did promise you an air view of this woodland, so let me see if I can do that now. I'm just going to close the GoPro and then do the shoot and then come back. Yes, so I was able to get the drone footage, but it's terribly windy, so I'm not able to do exactly what I intended, but I see how it comes out. Now we're going to head back to the beginning of the trail. So we're still in the tritrilliom and I am heading to where you can get better vellsanes. So let's see. So as I said, for those of you who subscribe to my channel, but also visit and listen music and all sort of stuff, and watch various of my vlogs of foraging and cooking and so forth. Do you have any vellsanes in your area? You're part of the world, you're part of Scotland, you're part of East Lothian, because I'm in East Lothian at the moment. What about in the Glasgow area, in parks, public parks, or private parks? You know, what about in England, Northern Ireland, Wales, and even Ireland, the EU, USA, Canada? Don't know. Asia, the Caribbean. Oh. So, pardon me, I'm gassy. Right. Okay. So now we're coming to a better place for seeing more defined arches. So what we're looking for is the tunnel effect. The tunnel effect tends to happen when the branches form the arch along a path. Here we go. So we are now venturing up on a vellsane area. So it's a mixture of small and large trees, but remember to look for trees on opposite side that acts as a gateway to the arch. I just think that that's one way of identifying a unique arch. That's what I do. You probably use a different method, but here's a good example. Sorry, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was me. Don't tell them. Who are they looking for and what's been done? I can't say. Shh. They didn't see me. Don't tell them, people. Don't even. Right. So okay, so one way I sort to identify vellsanes, I tend to look for two defining trees that start a pathway. So let's see two trees to work with. I would say this one. So we've got this tree here, yeah, and then we've got this one over here. So, and what we are looking for is to form, to see if there's any formation at the top that can now lead into a particular vellsane walk. So as you can see, there you go, the branches. Obviously when they have leaves it probably more defined, but I like when it's now winter and you see just the branches, the naked truth. Probably, if I could describe this, that something. Yeah, so I see this as the entrance to this particular vellsane walk. And then actually let me take a picture of it, so it means that I can put it up as a photo. Let me just adjust this thing. Okay, hold on a second. This is where the head pro is very handy. So now I'll put this online in the video so you can see it. I'm sure the video does show it, but it's good to see it in a still picture. So now it's as if I've passed the gate and going through this particular vellsane walk. So here you can see small trees forming the arch too. So you've got this tree here, yeah, and this one, and partly that one. So let's go back and see if we can see the arch. See? There you go. So Ah. So you can enter a vellsane and exit. Yes? So we've got the tritrilliom, which are a collection of arches, but then we've just entered a piece of that arch formation, and we can exit at some point to go into another one. So here we've got, oh, this is nice. You start to see even better formations. It's still part of this particular vellsane walk, yeah, or vellsane path. Okay. So we must have exit the vellsane at this point. This particular vellsane path. And then you see we've got sparse, this side is quite sparsely populated, and on this side too. So there's not much crossing. And now no, actually we haven't exited this path yet. It continues. It's just that along this path there are some sparsely populated areas within the path. So it continues. We'll exit soon. I'll let you know when we exit the path. So we're soon. Normally the exit happens when the particular path finish, which will be soon, seconds now. As you can see now, the trees are pretty much sparsely populated along the rest of the path. So we're exiting from this end. I guess if you're going the opposite end now, it's a different story. So we're exiting now. Just this bit. So we exit to know two choices: the arch that goes that way or the arch that goes that way. So you see, we can enter this particular vellsane that we've just left with this arch formation, or the opposite end with the first arch formation that I've shown you. Yes. So let's see what this path is. Oh, so we've got some greenery along this one and some very short arches. So we're entering this particular one now, and we've got some very small ones made by small trees along the path, with larger ones, of course. It's a mixture. I guess most of them in this area is a mixture. This one doesn't seem terribly long. Well, I guess maybe that's how it works in this area. Oh, this is nice. Oh, look at that. Nice, beautiful. Not bad. Okay, so it goes. You can tell how big this area is. I would have never covered it today, but at least if I get part of it. So you can enter the vellsane from this area, exit from this area, but coming this way would enter the vellsane and come this way now. So going the opposite way. So it's as if we're entering this part of the walk now. Okay. So now you start to get an understanding No, not get an understanding. It's just that you probably see this all the time, especially for those who are in countries where you've got well-defined winters and summers and so forth. You've been through this stuff. It's just that I find a word for it in the Oy'Nissh language. That's all. And I'm putting them in structure in terms of a type of classification system. Yes, but it's still under the term vellsane. So we are in this woodland, the tritrilliom, which is a collection of different arches with the varied sparsity and density. Yeah, because of how the trees are, you know, sometimes you've got gaps within these paths. Here's another one. Let me see. This is the one I didn't bother to come up because I know I would have approached it from this end, and this is all green. So you can see it's quite slender. Let me not even go down there, but you can see it's quite slender. But this time you've got the green leaves on the tree, so it's a lot more formed, but it's different from the others that we've seen because the tree type is different. Now I'm going to exit this part of the walk and go into the final stage. Okay, so I'm in the open space. Feel beautiful, whatever they're growing, hay, barley, wheat, I don't know, can't tell by looking at it. But this is where I want to take you now, to that part nearing the end. As you can see in the distance, a tunnel view of one of the vellsanes, right? So I'm going to, there are probably 3 different type of vellsanes in this part alone. So I'm going to take it through to the 3 of them. The last one is at the end, and it's sparsely populated, but it's got this nice entrance to the arch that I wanted to see. Yes, but for this particular one, it's a tunnel view of it, and I'll take you through just now. So this one I call the rabbit hole vellsane. It's so small, maybe because I'm tall, so for a child to them it's easy, you know, to get through, but because I'm taller, it looks a lot smaller and shorter for me. So I call it the rabbit hole vellsane. As you can see, the arches are very low. That's why I call a rabbit hole vellsane. Yeah, so this is the first one. Yes, let's see if I can look at that. Now you see, huh? Thus tritrilliom. So I tried to do the tunnel view using the drone, but it doesn't work because the branches and also the wind, and it have been blowing the drone into the branches and so forth. So I'm going to just walk through with the GoPro and you'll still get an idea. When I reach the second type of arch, then I'll let you know. So we'll go through the tunnel, or I call the rabbit hole vellsane just now. So oak trees for acorn nuts, yeah, all these along this side, and you see they form some nice patterns. Unlike the tall trees that we saw earlier on, these form a different shape, maybe because they are smaller, and these on this side is quite slant, and the oak tree, well, they're quite straight, but the branches now form like a triangle like, but at least they are a lot more defined than when we started along the tritrilliom. Yes, so here we go. I think it's getting narrower, more narrower, more narrower, narrower. Yep. Okay, more oak trees. I like this part because it's very gentle, you know, no need to rush. Just take your time and go through, and then look under this part of the woodland. Just look under the pine trees. Just, it's so beautiful. Huh? Could sleep underneath there, man. Wow. Okay, so maybe we are coming to the end just now. No, not yet. Okay, so we've now come to the end of this vellsane. I call it rabbit hole vellsane. So I've just exit the rabbit hole vellsane. Now we're going into the third type of vellsane called the triangle vellsane. Now this one is the bomb. You'll see it when I show you, when I turn around, but in this tritrilliom, this I believe is the best of them all. It's one of the smaller vellsane, that is, it's a bit lower than the ones on the opposite side of this walk with the taller trees. Yes, these have smaller trees, but it's the triangular shape that's going to amaze you. Now, get ready for it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Just look, people, huh? I'm sure people all over the world must have passed through vellsanes like this, but the fact that it's given a name, you know, so it's a vellsane arch, or a triangular vellsane arch, you know, or a rectangle vellsane arch. Just so amazing, you know. And I believe there are probably tens of thousands of patterns of vellsanes all over the world. Just imagine. But the very fact that it's got a name now, a specific name, you know, from vellsane comes the English, New Jamaican English called vellsane or vellsane arch. So wherever you go in the woodland again, and I get this pattern, this is what it's called in Oy'Nissh. You probably call it another name in your language. What is it called in your language? Let's look again from this end. Look at that. So to all the YouTubers, subscribers, and those who are watching this video, what do you call this type of thing in your country? At least in Oy'Nissh language, it's called vellsane, and from it comes the English word vellsane or the term vellsane arch. But what would you call something like this in your country? You know, it would be interesting to know. I'm sure you've got varied names. Share it, you know, your cultural experience with these stuff, because I'm sure you all go walk about. I think we're coming up on another part of the triangular vellsane. There we go. A drone footage would have been so nice, but the wind is just doing damage and the branches, you know. It probably would be better in this part of along the trail, but I got fed up. Can't even be bothered. Ooh, pardon me. Ooh. Okay. So that's us exiting. We've just exit the triangular vellsane or the rectangle vellsane. Yeah. And then we go to the last bit. We are now exiting the path, but I did make a detour just to show you the rabbit hole and the triangular vellsanes, yes? But where we should have exit from was just around the corner instead of here. So I'm going to take you to that side to show you what the final part of the vellsane would have looked like had I exit from that side instead of here. Oh, it's muddy, gosh, sorry. I want to be looking at in the camera, but I have to be looking down all the time because it's muddy around here. So sorry if I don't keep my eyes on you people all the time. It's just that it's muddy, and if I slip, that's me all muddy. But here we go. This is where we should have exited. I should have exited this park. Exited? No, exit. What am I talking about? Yes, I should have exited from here. But look at the formation. Look at the formation. I love it. I love it. Just look. You see, people? This is vellsane in its purest form. Just look. So nice. You get that long tunnel look. Right. I'm sure it's about a good 150 meters. Usain Bolt would have loved this. Yeah. But imagine coming down the way. And this is, I would say, the entrance to the vellsane. The tree on the left and the two pine trees on the right forms the entrance to this path of the vellsane, and whatever up there, the exit. So thanks for journeying along with me along this path in what's known as the tritrilliom, a collection of vellsanes in a woodland that's some sparsely populated, others densely populated. And next time I join you, hopefully it's in Musselburgh, where I'll see if I can get a vlog of what's in where I can do some vlogs of some pre-spring products. And in Musselburgh, I'm hoping to find wild garlic, ground elder, and possibly wild leek. So hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, so we're back at the gate, entrance to the Triltriliom. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next vlog.